Hello, everyone. Once again, welcome to this live class today where I'm going to be talking about how to manage your trades. And I'm also going to say that this is the last chance you're going to get to join a special two-part course that is starting later on in the week where we're going into full detail on how to manage all of your trades, regardless of what market and what time frame and how you personally trade. Now, the reason why we're really spending a lot of time on this is the reason why we're really going into detail about how to manage the trade is because most traders have a great time when the trade works out the way they want it to. Either they get in and they get out with a nice profit, or they're having a really great trade. Everything works out fine. But what happens when this takes place? For example, this is an actual buy signal generated by one of our strategies, and you're excited about this. You're buying at a low, inexpensive price, and all of a sudden it goes against you, right? This is when traders email me and they say, Steve, now what do I do? Okay, well, there's two things you can actually do here, which we're going to be teaching you in the course. Let's say you got stopped out. Well, that would have been the first thing. You would have taken a relatively minor loss. But then most traders at that point get out of the trade and they go look for something else, or they go and sulk and say, well, this doesn't work anymore. I don't want to trade according to this method or strategy. Well, what we're going to be teaching you in the course is how to actually get back in the trade, and you could potentially have captured upwards of 14 points. We're going to be talking about how to turn a losing trade into an actual winning trade. This is just one of the things we'll be covering in the dozens of different techniques and methods in our new course, the Managing the Trade two-part course that actually starts very soon. Now, here's the good news. Everything I'll be teaching in the course is actually on our platform. It's one click away on the PTS Primo charting platform. This is the educational platform I developed and designed with Pro Trader Strategy that actually teaches you how to manage trades. So welcome once again to this educational presentation. My name is Steven Primo. I'm the president and founder of Specialist Trading. If you're new to my webinars, I've been trading now for 47 years. I started my career on the floor of the Pacific Stock Exchange. I was on the floor 16 years, and 9 of those years I was a specialist. Specialist is someone who made markets, roughly about 50 or 60 stocks. So I did that during the crash of '87 and the bull market that followed. After I left the floor in the mid-90s, I managed money and also started trading my own account and also started teaching. So roughly about 15 years ago, I teamed up with Pro Trader Strategies and we formulated Specialist Trading with one goal in mind, simply to educate traders. So if you've come here today thinking that I'm going to tell you what I think the market's going to do, have we topped out? Are we going higher? What the perfect stock is to trade, what you should avoid. You see, this is what happens to most traders, myself included. When you first start trading, you over-rely on someone or something else to tell you how to trade. Now, this would be similar to taking golf lessons because you're going to be playing with some friends in the upcoming month. And so you hire a coach, but then when it comes time to playing with your friends, you ask the coach to play for you. And that would seem silly, right? But traders do this on a daily basis. You go to a website, you go to the chat room, or you go on TV and find out what they're saying to buy or sell, or you wait for the earnings or some indicator to come out about the economic news to tell you whether you should buy or sell. You see, relying on someone or something to tell you how to trade. And in my opinion, this is why most traders fail, myself included. I used these same things nearly 5 decades ago when I first started trading. And I couldn't make any money in my first year or two in trading because there was no consistency in this approach. It wasn't until my mentors, who were specialists themselves on the floor, taught me the things that I teach my students that my trading started to turn around and I became consistent. And the core of their methods and the basis for everything is that you have to make your own trading decisions. You see, it's been estimated that upwards of 85 to even 90% of all traders fail. Now, if most traders are trading this way, where we're going to a chat room once again or having a signal service telling us what to do, it's obviously that this doesn't work. This approach does not work. So what does work, and the only thing I have found in my nearly 5 decades of trading, is for traders to make their own decisions. Now, the good news is this is the service we provide. We are first and foremost an educational company with one goal in mind: to provide you with strategies, methods, and techniques that have high levels of consistency so that ultimately you can make your own trading decisions on how you want to apply them. This is what we do with Specialist Trading, and you can go on our website or Google and see all of the hundreds, if not thousands, of traders who have turned their trading around by becoming students of ours. And you'll see that approach to education in today's class. Now, before we begin, we are required to share this with you, so please take a moment to view our disclaimer. I'm going to share with you a lot of performance results and what is included in our Managing the Trade course, but please remember that we can in no way guarantee that any of the results I'm about to share with you will be repeated in the future. And since we are first and foremost an educational company, all examples are strictly for educational purposes only. Another way to get education on a daily basis is to follow us on Twitter or X, however you'd like to call it. There's our handle right there at SPCLSTTRADG. We post upwards of 5 to 7 different snapshots a day of signals or techniques that our methods have generated. Also, little bits of financial wisdom. So lots of great free information. Please feel free to follow us on Twitter, and please subscribe to YouTube because we are also live streaming there as well. Okay, now once again, we are an educational company. This basically means that we're going to put the power back in your hands, and we're not going to force feed you signals and tell you what to trade. Our goal is to teach you how to trade. This is the same way I was taught some 47 years ago and what has sustained my trading, and hopefully it will be able to do the same for you. Now, let's begin today's educational class. We're going to be introducing our new Managing the Trade course. We're really going to go into detail about what it takes to manage your trading, regardless of what market you trade, regardless of what time frame, regardless of what or how you trade. You purchase options, you actually buy stock, futures, currency pairs. It makes absolutely no difference because all of these techniques and methods can be applied to any market and any time frame. Now, let's go and exactly define what exactly trade management is. Trade management is everything a trader does after a trade is open until the trade is closed. You see, we're always focusing so much on, well, are all the signals aligned so that I buy or that I sell? Do I have my exit in place, my stop placement? That's all well and good. These are all things you have to know, and we teach these things as well in our courses. But most of the time, when things happen within the trade, traders are at a loss for what to do. They don't know what to do once a trade is in place. And they say to themselves, well, why do I have to know that? Why don't I just sit back and wait? Well, sure, you can do that. But oftentimes the market is like a river. Sometimes, sure, it's flowing very nice and very smooth, and the trade concludes and you have a nice trade in your hands. But other times, the market is like a roaring river with rapids. And so things don't go the same way you thought. And so maybe you have to adjust and move with the roaring river or the trend. And other times that river may be just stagnant. It may be like a pond, not flowing at all. And you're sitting there going, boy, how long am I going to be in this trade? Nothing is happening at all. So you have to adjust to the current and the movement of the market. And the reason for this is that by managing trades, traders can increase their profits while minimizing risk. So we're going to be focusing on what to do within the trade. While you've already entered, while you've already placed your exit and your stop, then you also have to manage and control what is happening while you're in the trade. Now, let me go over the course curriculum because we're going to cover a lot in detail here. First of all, we're going to talk about the explanation of why trade management is so important. I'm going to go into more detail of what I just briefly touched upon right now and go into the philosophy of trade management and how it's entirely different from just entering into a trade or exiting from a trade. Next, we're going to cover initiating the trade. And this is a concept that most traders really don't understand or know because we actually ask the question, does the market agree with your entering of the trade? For example, with the technique I'll teach you in the course, here was a buy signal generated by one of our strategies. Now, everything looks fine. It met all the rules, and on our platform, it automatically displays a buy or a sell signal. So it automatically displayed this signal. But with the technique I'm going to be sharing with you, it said that the market did not agree with buying this. So you would not have purchased this in the first place and saved yourself a large loss. This is all part of trade management. Here's another example. We had another one of our strategies generate a sell signal. All the rules are met, all the requirements are met, everything's in place, okay? But did the market agree? Actually, it did not. So you would not have gone short or purchased the puts, and therefore you would not have lost in this particular trade. Now, the market doesn't always disagree with whatever you want to do. Here's another example, though, where did it agree with purchasing this currency pair, purchasing the Canadian dollar? No, it did not. So you would not have lost any money in this example. So we're also going to be going deep into detail about how to take control of your risk. Now, I know most traders think, well, sure, Steve, I take control of my risk. I have an account size. I only risk $1,000 per trade at the very most, or I only risk so many points. So I'm taking control of my risk. Well, that's a very generic way to control risk. I'm going to share with you a very overlooked way to control your risk, but can really increase your odds for consistency. For example, here's a buy signal in AMC that was an actual buy signal once again with one of our strategies that didn't work out. And you notice I'm showing you a lot of trades that didn't work out. I'm doing this on purpose to show you how you can actually improve and lower your risk parameters. Now, using a standard size account, you would have had a loss here, most likely with a standard account that we'll go over in the class of roughly about $1,100, maybe $1,200, okay? Now, using the same format, entering at the exact same place, exiting with a loss at the exact same place, but using this trade management technique and the same account size, you would have decreased your loss down to 400. This is by adding trade management. This is what I will teach you in the course. The same thing happens to the positive side as well. Here's an older chart in NVIDIA that an actual buy signal. Here's a winner, as you can see, that one of our strategies generated. And with an average size account trading this, okay, you would have had a nice profit of roughly $4,400, saying that you potentially held on to the position as where we see here, where it is, okay? But by adding trade management, entering at the exact same place, using the same account size, you could have increased your potential for profits by doubling that amount, up to $8,800. This is just by adding trade management technique that I will once again be teaching you in the course. Now, these are all valid techniques that I've been using for years in my own personal trading. Many of these I learned from my trading days on the trading floor that you won't find anywhere else. So we'll cover that in detail. But we'll also talk about turning a losing trade into a winner. This is something that a lot of students have a lot of curiosity about, and it's a very simple technique. In fact, I covered this once in a course a while back ago. And this is something I've been using in my own personal trading, but I thought that more people knew about this technique, but they don't. So I want to talk about it more in this and go into more detail about how you can actually turn a losing trade into a winner just by using this trade management technique. For example, here's a buy signal on Microsoft, all right, using one of our strategies. Once again, it went up for a couple of days, and provided you didn't get out very quickly, most likely you would have had a loss on your hands. But once again, with this technique, you could have been able to turn this losing trade into a winner with just a few simple pointers, a few simple directions, and you could have taken advantage of the original buy signal. Here's another example. Let's say you went short the 4-hour Swiss franc, okay? And for a couple of hours, it looked pretty good, but then look what happened after that. Went straight up. So if you took the loss, don't worry, because with this simple technique, we'll share with you how you could have turned that loss into a winner. So it was right to actually be short the Swiss franc, but with this technique, you would have known that, well, I'm going to either stay short or get back in. Here's another example in letter L. A buy signal was generated, immediately turned into a loss. But with this one simple technique I'll be sharing with you in week 1 of the course, you actually could have turned that loss into a winner. A very simple but very high probability technique to turn losses into winners. We'll also talk about more positive things, because I've shared with you a lot of losing situations, because most traders do have difficulty with losing, and that's when they, throw in the towel, or they want to go sulk in a corner and say, this stuff doesn't work, I wasted my money. But I'll share with you how you can turn around things that are losses, and also we'll talk about, once you do have some winning trades, how you can stay in a winning trade much longer. We'll share with you techniques on how you can actually do that. Also, we'll share with you, if you have a winning trade, a lot of traders have difficulty by getting out too soon or too quickly. We'll show you a high probability way of re-entering into a winning trade. Most traders don't like to do this because they say, I know the minute I get in, it's going to top out. Well, we'll share with you a technique that says that most likely it's going to continue going higher. And then lastly, there are just dozens more techniques and things. I just can't go into detail right now because they're just there's too many, and they really have high levels of consistency. And we'll share with you all of them in our two-part course. That's why we're giving this course in a 2-week program. There's just too much to throw in just 1 week for a class. We're going to have 2 different classes where we'll cover all of these in detail. But to make things even more abundant, we're actually going to throw in another bonus, an extra bonus. This is a full course included within this trade management course. This is our PI course, or Patterns in Equity. This is where we take trade management to an entirely different level, because up until now, we're going to be discussing how to manage your trade, your individual trade. Here's where PI takes it up to a different level, because what it does is it tells you how to manage your strategy, how to manage your strategy, profit, and loss. So if we turn your strategy, profit, and loss into a chart, we can manage that as well. For example, let's look at this actual student's chart here of his performance level while he was trading. Now, as you can see, this student was doing very well beginning of the year, extremely well. All of his trades, most of them were winners, and he had a small series of losses, but he was doing well. And then, as happens so many times, you go into a drawdown, meaning that that's a slump where the strategy is not working so well. Now, taking from the first 4 months of the year, from January to April, if we just take and see how much money was either made or lost, this trader made close to $15,000. Not bad. Starting at zero and in 4 months made $15,000. But this point from here, from where he started to lose up until we stopped trading, lost actually close to $28,000. So that's a large drawdown. He risked $28,000 to make close to $15,000. Okay, so how could we have improved those numbers? Well, this is where we take your trade management up to another level, because once again, we were focusing previously just on individual trades. Now we're going to focus on managing your strategy. Now, with a simple technique I'll share with you in the PI course, you would have turned those numbers around where your actual profit increased from roughly 15,000 all the way up to 32,682. But at the same time, PI decreased your drawdown. We went from roughly close to 28,000 drawdown down to 6,260 in drawdown. This is an amazing course in and of itself, and it's worth its weight in gold. And we are throwing this in included within the Managing the Trade course. So you're going to get the full enchilada of everything on how to manage your trade, not only with individual trades, but actually with your course. So let's break it down now. Let's recap. Remember, trade management is everything a trader does after a trade is open until the trade is closed. So this is what we're going to be focusing on. We're not going to be focusing on, in this 2-part course, not so much on, well, what constitutes a buy signal? What constitutes a sell signal? Where do I place my stop? Where do I exit? That's all well and good in a strategy. And we have tons of courses that go into that. We're going to be talking about, once you enter the trade, now what do you do? Because as we said earlier with that analogy of the market being like a river or whatever you're trading, how many times have you been in a trade and all of a sudden things happen, it goes nuts, maybe some news comes out, or maybe everything just dries up and you say to yourself, wow, how long am I going to be sitting here with this thing? So we have to manage the trade. And the reason why we do this is because you can increase your profits at times, and you can also minimize risk with the techniques that you'll be learning in our 2-part course. Okay, we have a great offer for all of you attending today. And this is our Managing the Trade course. Great offer. It's an entirely new course. We're going to be talking about what to do once you're in the trade, how to increase profits while minimizing risk. Remember, all of the techniques and things I'll be teaching you in the course, you can apply to virtually any market and any time frame. So it doesn't matter. I know we have a lot of students that only trade one market like stocks, but we also have tons of students around the world who not only trade stocks, but they trade currency pairs, or maybe they trade crypto, and at the same time they trade futures. So you can apply these. It doesn't matter what you're trading. On top of that, we're going to throw in this extra bonus of the PI course. This is, like I said, this is worth its weight in gold because it's an actual course itself. We spent a whole couple of days going into the Pi course. You're going to get all of that included with the two-part Managing the Trade course, okay? And as always, you'll get educational correspondence. Now, one of the best things that you've seen today is that everything I displayed and all the techniques, I'd say the majority of the techniques I will be teaching you in the class are easily one click away on our platform. So all you have to do is click on the platform and you'll see these Managing the Trade techniques and methods come up automatically on the screen. That's the beauty of what we're going to be teaching you today. But this means you have to have our platform. So here's what we're going to include. We're going to also throw in a full year of the platform. If you sign up today, we're going to have a full year of the PTS Primo charting platform available to you so that you can automatically use all these techniques, understand them, but then with one click, see how they are on the chart, whatever market you're trading, whatever time frame. Remember, with trade management, you'll never have to ask again the question, now what do I do? You'll always know, you'll always have an answer and know exactly how your plan of attack should be. Remember, so many times you're in a trade, all of a sudden things change, news comes out, or else the market dries up, and you say to yourself, boy, what do I do? Do I just hold on, or what should I do? Now, either I have, maybe you have a great profit, and you're wondering, what do I do now? Should I get out, or is it going to go higher? Or maybe you have a large loss, and you say to yourself, now what do I do? You'll never have to ask that again once you have learned how to master proper trade management. This is what we're going to go into detail within the course. And by the way, the course will be beginning this Friday. Starts this Friday at 10 a.m., the same time, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So it's going to be a two-part course. Week 1 will begin this Friday. So take advantage of the great offer. Now, the price and everything is on our website page, as you see right here. See this link down here? We've just put the link on the chat box. So if you want to find out more info about the pricing and about an early bird discount, please click on that link you see there. If you'd like to speak and sign up and speak to a trading consultant, call 310-598-6677. They have trading consultants manning the phones. They would be more than happy to talk about pricing with you, as well as give you a quote if you'd like to establish a payment plan, or talk about more things that we include in the course and what's available to you, okay? But remember, this is all going to be happening this Friday. It's a two-part course, and it will be starting at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Now, I see we had a couple of questions here. I'm going to take the last portion of today's presentation for any questions. Let me just open up. If you have questions, by the way, go to the chat box or to the question and answer box. Someone was asking, when does classes start? I guess that was what they were asking. Yeah, we start this Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And the reason why we start on Fridays with most of our courses is because we give you a lot of information, and then we want you to be able to practice or to use that information so you have the entire weekend to go over on your charts on the PTS Primo charting platform and look and see what we've just taught you. And you'll start to say, hey, this stuff really works. This could have really helped me this past month. And so you have a couple of days a weekend to go over things, okay? What if we cannot attend the live classes? Not to worry, all of our classes are recorded. So if you are not able to attend, if you're working, or if you just can't make it that particular day, you will be sent the recording. And the best thing about being able to be in the class is that we keep the class small, intimate wise. And so there's not like 200 people in there and you're juggling for people for space to ask a question or to get involved. This way we keep it to a smaller amount, and that way people can interact with me and ask questions as often as they'd like. So it's a little bit different than the webinars I give, such as today. You can ask questions during the presentation. But if you're not able to make it, don't worry. You will also be given a link to the recording. You can watch it whenever you'd like, okay? Someone's asking about questions. Okay, if you can't make the presentation and we send you a recording, each and every one of you will get my private email address. That's not the email address you see here. This one goes directly to me, and you'll be able to ask me any question. I can check your work, or if you're having trouble understanding a concept, we can relay and converse about it via email, and hopefully you'll be able to understand it much better. Okay, so as I said, the best thing is to be in class, but don't worry, we make it simple. If you can't attend, you will be able to converse with me via email whenever you'd like. Before the opening, after the close, even during the weekend, you'll be able to contact me whenever you'd like, okay? Any more questions? Let me see here. I have one more question and answer here. Do you offer live trading? I think I use Thinkorswim with Schwab. We don't offer live trading. That would be a better question, though. I think that may be in the works, but that would be a question to ask for to Pro Trader Strategies. Once again, there's no obligation. That number you see right there, I would give them a call, and they could probably answer that much better than I. 310-598-6677. We have lots of customers that use Thinkorswim, and they can help you with that question, okay? So we have all of the major platforms, we have traders and students using them. Metastock, Thinkorswim, NinjaTrader. Okay, I can't think of right now. I can't think of the other one right now. It's just I keep thinking of the Pro Trader Strategies, our our platform. I think the reason why I keep thinking of our platform, TradeStation, that was the one I was trying to come up with. The reason why is because you'll see everything right on our platform. You'll see everything right there. And so with one click away, you'll see, oh, I should re-enter here. Or, oh, okay, this is a technique which will have me, know exactly what my risk parameters are. So it's really, really simple, but I go into detail so that nothing is left for you to think about or wonder exactly how to do it. And remember, if you do have any questions, I'm there with you every step of the way. So it won't be the type of thing where you'll be saying, gosh, you left me out, hung out to dry here. I don't know what the answer is. And I'm just kind of got all this information here, but I don't know exactly how to use it. You can always contact me whenever you'd like. Now, our classes, someone's asking how long our classes are. Our classes are anywhere from an hour to 3 hours long. After 3 hours, I generally lose my voice, so I don't know if I can go much longer, but I would say on average, they're 2 hours long. So there'll be 2 hours this Friday, and then the upcoming Friday, it'll be roughly another 2 hours, okay? So if you can block out that amount of time, if you're going to become a student of mine, those are the 2 hours, and then you'll have all weekend to practice and to go over with. Okay, so as we close, remember, give Pro Trader Strategies a call. They can tell you about pricing, discounts, early bird discounts. But remember, the class starts this Friday, so you don't want to miss out because it'll probably go up to a full price and it'll be a lot more expensive, okay? Give them a call at 310-598-6677. Now, as we close here, I just want to say thank you for attending as we take one last look at our disclaimer. Remember, this is a great class where you won't have to ask the question, what do I do now? If you've ever asked yourself that question, this is the course you need to take. It's different from any other course we've had before because we're talking about specifically what to do once you're in the trade, okay? Thank you so much for attending. I wish you all the best of luck, and I look forward to seeing you in the Manage the Trade course. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.